stories out there.
That's a very common term. Raghead, sand monkey, carpet jockey, Haji, Klawonn Hassan, Osama, Zachary bin Laden, Klawonn bin Laden. I've heard everything.
Could it be possible that a US soldier who takes a solemn oath to protect and serve his country with passion, dedication, and honor, and at times even with his own life, can be taken as the enemy just because he happens to be a Muslim? This is the story of United States Army Specialist Zachary Klawonn. According to his immediate supervisor at Fort Hood, Captain Arata, Klawonn has everything that the Army is looking for in a good soldier.
Just about every aspect of being a soldier, he excels. He's a very, very good soldier, very good soldier.
Zachary Klawonn is an American citizen, a first-class US soldier from Alpha 45 AMD Air Missile Defense Unit at Fort Hood. Tough, smart, educated, intelligent. In fact, they say he might even be a perfect candidate for the Special Forces. But according to Specialist Klawonn, his own Moroccan heritage seems to be haunting him like a never-ending nightmare. A situation that has put him at the crossroads with the military of a country that he has sworn to protect and defend.
When I'm wearing this uniform you have on, when I have this on my sleeve, and you're gonna ask me if I'm in a terrorist organization. Because I'm Muslim. 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 Why? Apparently he drew the two words together. Apparently that's his perception.
It was about 2 years ago when Specialist Zachary Klawonn left Florida to join the US Army, something he felt extremely passionate about. He says he wanted to contribute in the war against terrorism because he cherishes the American Constitution and the freedom and liberties that come with it.
In essence, how, as cliche as it sounds, the American dream is alive. If you apply yourself, the sky's the limit. That's wonderful. And if you're not prepared to defend that, what are you prepared to defend?
We drove down to Killeen, Texas, around 1,500 miles from Washington, D.C., to the infamous Fort Hood to meet Specialist Klawonn. Fort Hood is one of the biggest Army bases in the United States, but recently it became headline news because of a horrific tragedy that took place on November 5th, 2009. Nidal Hassan, an American citizen and a major in the US Army, shot and killed 11 people at Fort Hood. But there was another story unfolding here. Long before Major Nidal took those innocent lives on a dark November day. Major Nidal's case is currently under investigation, but upon meeting Zachary on the first day of my interview with him, I was surprised what he had to say about his identity.
American soldier right now, it's, my occupation right now, and American Muslim as well.
It's funny you said American Muslim because when I talk to most of the Americans, they never say that I'm an American Christian.
Sure.
Why do you have to say that?
Especially as of late, and since I've been in the military, I seem to be explaining that a lot. Off the bat, sometimes that's a conversation starter. That is the conversation that I have with a lot of people. That is most of the conversations that I have with a lot of the guys I work with. So as of late, it's been a big topic for me, I guess.
So when people talk to you, for them, the topic of interest is that you're a Muslim.
My prior years before the military, you would say, who is Zachary Klawonn? I'd say, I love to play golf. I go to Braden River High School. I, hang out with my friends on the weekends. But that American Muslim would never come up. But I've never been under that scrutiny that I have. I've never had that in my life. I've never had that, I guess you could say, a microscope on that part of my life. But now, that's almost one or the other. It's a part of me in the military now.
No matter what Klawonn's identity is, His commander, Captain Chris Arata, is truly proud of his soldier.
Specialist Klawonn is a soldier in my battery. We're an air defense artillery battery. We do Patriot. Klawonn works in my orderly room. He's actually responsible for quite a few things admin-wise for my battery and does an outstanding job at it.
Private First Class Chad Jakimowicz and Specialist Arnold Mendez are Zachari's good friends, but they didn't start off as buddies.
I knew him in basic training, kind of. Like, I kind of knew him, but I really started getting to know him in AIT. It's like a military school, pretty much like a college where you learn your job.
At first, Chad seemed a little hesitant talking to Klawonn, knowing that he was a Muslim. He says there was this sort of an invisible tension.
I didn't have a fear, but before I had like got to know him, I guess you could say I kind of hated on him for a minute, you know, because like we're fighting against, you know, who we're fighting against, and I'm thinking, great, they're in with us now. You know, like, how are we supposed to be fighting them and they're with us? You know, but then once you know, I started talking to him, he's just been inspiring me, you know, ever since. Like, we've been really close buddies, and he's totally changed my mind about everything.
Specialist Klawonn has made some pretty strong statements. According to Zachary Klawonn, there is an intense harassment of Muslims in the US Army, and it has nothing to do with Major Nidal Hassan or even 9/11, according to Zachary. Zachary claims it has something to do with being a Muslim, or simply put it, with being a follower of Islam.
Most soldiers, I believe, have that perception of Islam and radicalism.